Hello, people. What's up? Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. What a week we've had. I know it's been crazy busy in football world, but more than the week in EPL, I must definitely mention first and foremost a historic day for UEFA. Wow, what a day in UEFA Champions League draw, especially. Yes, the UEFA Champions League draw for those people who are living under a rock, that has basically been done. And I think, oh, sorry, I made a mistake there. Definitely not done. It has been redone. Wow. You know what? It was really funny the way it happened, and we will be discussing a lot about that. But yes, not just that, we'll be discussing the EPL week that passed by, week that is coming on, and we will be picking the best of the best in Europe with two top Chelsea fans. Yes, today you will be getting a Chelsea point of view more so, but definitely people in the chat do pitch in. First and foremost, I have to welcome back to the channel Shashwat, that is Drog Baba. Drog Baba, welcome back, mate. How are you?
Thank you, Ankit Bhaiya. Thank you so much. Crazy day, crazy day. Didn't expect this, and my heart was in my mouth, to be honest, when I got to know that draw will be done for the second time. But thank God, thank heaven, we drew Lil again. So yeah, all is well in the end.
Absolutely. And we messaged each other, Baba, that the moment that happened, and I think that was one crazy draw in itself. I've never seen this happen. To be honest, this is the first even when they took out of the pod, I think Manchester United, I kind of guess there is something wrong. But then, after like half an hour, everyone realized, and you know what. But you know what, before anything, people watching, do smash that like as well as subscribe if you have not. Most importantly, check out Drog Baba's episode that he did last episode on Almighty Blues FC. That was Know Your Creator, and that will tell you a lot about Baba because yes, he shared a lot in that particular video, and I would really recommend highly for all of you to see, and that will be an inspiration for anyone who's wanting to know why Chelsea, why Drogba, and whatnot. Right, there's a lot of things there. But Baba, congratulations, 8,000 subscribers, growing every day, much deserved. Love your content, and just keep on,
Thank
mate.
you.
That's what I would say.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so
yes,
much, Ankit Bhaiya. Thank you so much.
and I know, Baba, we discussed, I think, one of the previous streams that you were on Almighty Blues, we discussed, I think, with the couch critic, Thiago Silva, about Thiago Silva, that, okay, he is the person that, if he's there in the team, he's like the linchpin of the team. Now, obviously, reports saying that he's going to be extending not just by 1 year, possibly 2 years, and, agreeing to it. So, what do you think? Like, you think that he'll be a proper part of the team for those 2 years, or is more like a player coach kind of a role? What do you see him becoming a great part as well?
I mean, the way he's playing right now, I have no reason to believe that he cannot be a mainstay in our defense. Provided that we use him wisely, obviously, we cannot expect him to start all 38 Premier League games and start like what 6 plus 4, 10, 12 Champions League games for the next 2 seasons. That will be absolutely mad. But yeah, if we use him wisely and if he is deployed in the matches, let's say, which require players with more experience and players with that big game experience and players who are really, who really hold their own when it comes to those big moments. So definitely, and see, situation is not looking good with Rudiger, right? We all know that he won't be signing that contract extension. So we need Thiago Silva to groom any centre back who comes in, be it from the academy, even if someone is promoted from the academy, or if we get in someone from the transfer market, be it Matthias Delete or Jules Koundé. I would be absolutely over the moon if we get Delete somehow. But I don't want to. I don't want Chelsea to negotiate with that snake of an agent, Mino Raiola. But if it takes to get a Delete, then we will have to go that path. But yes, definitely his presence is very crucial to build and to see off the transition. And he's already a Chelsea legend.
Yeah, as in he's definitely on the path, and now he'll
Uh,
probably become. Hopefully, we get an EPL victory. I think that'll put him. But yes, I'll not keep the second panel waiting for long because we have Almighty Blue FC's favorite panelist here. Definitely one in many. As in Taron, you are someone that I think the viewers love, and for me, I think great to have you back because of the fact that I think most recently I think you watched a few games. I know things have been busy, but how have you been doing overall?
Thank you for the kind words. I don't know if I'm the most favorite member of the channel. I'm sure everyone's loved equally, but yeah, thanks for the kind words first of all. And yeah, it feels always like I've been off for a long time before I come back on the channel because I miss it so much. And yeah, I love coming back on it. So excited to get into discussion with a new panelist as well today, Jog Baba. I've seen a lot of you on your channel, and I saw the quiz you did. Fortunately, I did win the quiz, so you did finish below me. So we can talk about it after. So yeah, it's gonna be a great discussion, and yeah, the UEFA draw today was very interesting. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I couldn't believe it was redone. I couldn't believe UEFA had the the kind of, they didn't want the attitude. I thought the attitude would be so kind of diminished by that, but they just did it again. And yeah, but what can we do about that? We got little.
Yeah, and again,
Crazy.
Taron had to get in that, regarding the quiz. Yes, Taron is currently the reigning champion of Who Am I Trivia Series on Almighty Blues FC. Dog Baba is in the top three, so hopefully in season two we'll have both of you kind of together. That'll be interesting. But again, like Know Your Creator series, do check it out. The links are below. And yes, as I say that, let me actually big up a few people. Yes, a lot of people have joined. Again, do smash that like so that we have a lot more people. Trust me, this is going to be a massive stream with a lot of discussion, a lot of debate as well. And I would like the chat to get involved. Of course, Dugout Football Channel, a great channel. I was there on this channel earlier today, and we had basically reacted to the first draw, and then the second draw. Somehow I couldn't join, but yeah, then it was a comedy of errors, right? Shrey obviously always supporting the channel. Great channel he has himself, and Just Viola. Big up to you, Krishna in the house as well, from the podcast, and of course Suraj. Yes, Jai Babaji, definitely you'll hear a lot. And yes, a lot of people are basically new watchers. Again, you will see a lot of content coming in the coming days. In maybe Hindi, in English. So that's something that I've taken some polls. So do vote. But yes, for now, as in this particular stream would definitely be in English. So hopefully, you all can basically enjoy this and have your say as well. Uh, yeah, certainly moving on. Of course, Chelsea perspective is in the house as well. So Taron, I just discussed with Rock Baba about Thiago Silva and of course Rudiger, where he briefly touched upon. But again, Christensen has also been touted as someone who's anytime going to be signing that extension. I know his performances off late have not been that ideal as compared to say the previous months. But like, do you see maybe Rudiger going, Christensen staying? Maybe we can change the formation, or do you think that we'll probably stick to the formation? And I think it's high time Tuchel try something new. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think Rudiger's going to leave. I don't think he's going to sign. It's looking at he wants like 350,000 a week, which is probably, you can say, acceptable to some extent for what he does for the club compared to some of our other players who don't do as much for the club. But I mean, he's coming up to the age of 29 very soon. I don't know if he is 29. He's coming up to the age of 29. We don't give big contracts to players that are approaching the age of 30, just in case we're kind of paying them for their downfall in their career, their kind of retirement kind of ages. So I can understand if the club wants to invest in someone like Wesley Fofana, someone like that, who can come in and we'll give a 5-year contract with a high salary, but they'll build up and they'll stay us and improve us instead of declining us. So yeah, I can make sense to that completely. And the Thiago Silva point that Jogba made earlier is good. I think keeping Silva, we look like we are going to keep him. It's so essential for next season. If we do bring in a young kind of centre back, Silva did it so well with Chalobah. I think he did it well with Reece James, even though he's not a centre back. So to have someone like that when you're training week in, week out and playing the games with, it's so important to have a leader to mentor you to become a player for a big club. So yeah, I think Silva will sign. Christensen, it looks like he's going to sign a 4-year deal. There was talks that we wanted a 5-year deal, but his team wanted a 3-year deal. So the natural thing was to expect a 4-year deal right in the middle to accept that deal. And yeah, he's looked very shaky the last few weeks. You can't really blame him. To be honest, he was on the bench for, I think, 2-3 weeks. So he's come back in, thrown back in the Watford game. He didn't do great there, in my opinion. And I don't think he's been great since. But hopefully when the contract issues are sorted, we can calm down, start to build his future at the club. He's going to be here during his prime years. So he can start to realize that he has nowhere else to go at this stage. So he has to be playing well and he has to be fighting to get ahead of Silva, Rudiger and Chalobah soon because they're so hard to get ahead of right now. So he needs to really wise up, in my opinion. This contract saga is going to be over after a long kind of year to 6 months. So hopefully he can start playing as good as he was last season in the Champions League final and as soon as Tuchel came in.
Yeah, just crossing our fingers. But yeah, well said there. But again, a lot of Chelsea talk to begin with, and that had to happen. But yes, a lot of people from other clubs are here, so we would be discussing a lot. Just stay tuned till the end. But to begin with, we have to certainly react to that day, the draw day that we had. But yeah, the draw is done again. Oh no, I made a mistake. It has been done, redone.
Redone.
That was like, I don't know, like I couldn't believe, like I thought it was one of those kind of forwards you get about for some fans not being happy about a draw. I was actually outside, and then I was like, okay, let me get back home and actually watch the redraw. But yes, now talking about a draw, of course, like let me actually first try and share my screen. I'll just try and show for people who kind of would have missed it. I hope not, but yeah, just in case you missed the draw, this is what the draw is like. And this is the Champions League, obviously, round of 16. Now, the first leg, I believe, is going to be played on 15th and 16th of February, or the 22nd and 23rd of February. And the second leg is going to be on 8th and 9th of March and the following week as well, right? Now, Salzburg is Bayern Munich. Well, on paper, you can say Bayern Munich, Sporting Club against Man City. Man City being lucky twice today, like Chelsea, getting Lille, Benfica against Ajax, Atletico Madrid playing Manchester United against Manchester United, getting two tough draws both times, and Villarreal against Juventus is interesting for me. Inter Milan versus Liverpool and PSG versus Real Madrid, right? So a lot of ties there to discuss about, but I think I'll come to Baba first. So Baba, I don't know, Destiny, about you said about Chelsea getting Lille twice. I know we played Lille. I think it was a couple years ago when under Lampard, I believe we played them and we beat them in the group stages. So do you reckon with Yilmaz, with Jonathan David scoring goals, is there even an iota of chance for them third time lucky?
See, if we can't beat a Lille side who is struggling in their own league, I think they're 11th or 12th in League One, if I'm not wrong. Although they are champions of France, but this season they look like a shadow of their previous selves. Right, the last season they were playing. If we are champions of Europe, you cannot afford to be knocked out by Lille, right? I mean, we all know that we are being hit by injuries right now. We have all sorts of problems. Against Zenit, we didn't have proper midfielders to play with. Ross Barkley and Reece James had to fill in that double pivot role. But that cannot be an excuse when you're playing Lille, and that too in the Champions League round of 16, right? And this is the best start that Chelsea could have hoped for in the knockout stages, because yes, we committed a blunder when we finished second in our group, and we escaped death twice. Like, there was a 75% chance that we could have met a top-notch team: Ajax, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. These were the other three options that we had apart from Lille, and still we got Lille twice. So I know that to some extent UCL draw is fixed, it is rigged, and I can understand UEFA does not want champions of Europe to be knocked out so soon, so early from the competition, if that's the conspiracy theory behind this. But I don't care about that. I just care about what my team faces in the next round, and I'm happy that we got Lille. But come on, we have to beat them, right? It cannot. If we are fielding a Carabao Cup side, for example, like a team we field in the Carabao Cup, then also we should be able to beat them. With Saul playing as that number 8 behind two strikers. Come on, we need to do that.
We should definitely, like, again, we are lucky in a way, like you said about,
And just one point to add, all those people who were saying Chelsea are lucky, see, last time in round of 16, we got Atletico Madrid. Before that, we got Bayern Munich. And before that, when we played round of 16 in 17-18 season under Conte, we got Barcelona. So we are not lucky. It's law of averages. It's law of averages that has favored Chelsea.
Yes, I agree with that. Like it has got to be, at some point that we get that luck as well. And of course, like any Champions League run requires some amount of luck. And again, we're just hoping that kind of repeat whatever we did last season. But again, Taron, Real Madrid, like first time I think they got Benfica in the first draw, and then obviously they got PSG. Wow. And then again, that was some kind of a difference from going from Benfica. No disrespect to Benfica, but for me, again, that is a huge kind of difference. And of course, I don't know, like, even PSG fans, they got two tough draws both the times. So I don't know, like, how would every Real Madrid fan or PSG fan be reacting right now? As in, for me, it's really funny, but yeah, for me, this is how every PSG and Real Madrid fan would be saying right now.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
I think they can just continue, but yes, for me, as in Taron, just coming back to the game, right? As in PSG was Real Madrid. Now, I know on paper it looks like a very close one. Benzema, versus Messi in a way, and of course, Ramos going back to Real Madrid, Vinicius Junior being the form that he is, Mbappe, coming as in he's probably the main pin-up boy for PSG right now. If I really tell the truth, for you, really, what do you see happening in this game? Like, in the end, what you think Real Madrid's experience would be enough for them to get over two legs, or you think PSG will probably, come up the ranks?
Yeah, I think the main thing is the Mbappe part. I just think that's quite cool. Mbappe, there's talks that he could be scoring own goals to kind of compensate for his new club next season, just kind of play for them, but obviously not. Yeah, I think PSG fans are going to be quite worried because Real Madrid have been probably one of the best teams in the Liga by far this season. Under Carlo Ancelotti, they've looked stellar. Vinicius Junior has been a key asset. Same with Karim Benzema. Same with a lot of the other talents. And I think PSG, they have a great front three, but in terms of their midfield, and the Herrera's probably their main player in midfield. Wijnaldum's not been doing great. Idrissa Gana Gueye is okay, but still not great in their defense. Ramos has had a lot of injury problems. Same with the other players they've had. Nuno Mendes has had a great start at PSG. So Real Madrid, I think, have built a really stellar unit so far under Ancelotti. Their defense is looking really good with Eder Militao and David Alaba. Their fullbacks are looking good going forward. Their midfield three, that just seems like it never changes, of Kroos, Casemiro, Modric, it's still going strong, despite the ages are still kind of increasing by the year. And that front three, I think, of Real Madrid is really special. Vinicius Junior has had crazy stats this season, and Benzema has looked in the form of his life. I'm surprised he wasn't up there more in the Ballon d'Or in terms of top three, even. I think he's had a great season. So, yeah, this game has potential to be great, and I think it's probably the best game, in my opinion, apart from maybe Atletico Man United, which is quite similar in terms of standards. I think this is the best game in the round of 16 so far. You have so many talents on the pitch. You have two great managers who can deploy great tactics on their days, and I think it could be a great game. And I think Real Madrid are going to be fuming they didn't get Benfica, because now they're coming up against a team who are so lethal in attack, and they can hurt any team in Europe on the best of the day. So, yeah, I'm predicting Real Madrid to go through just because I think their unit is a lot stronger than PSG's. They don't just rely on their four players. The midfield works very well in unison, and their defense is very solid and is working much better now with that Ramos in there. I feel like Ramos did kind of make a lot of mistakes in his last few years at Real Madrid. He'd let players run in behind. You remember the Club Brugge game a lot where they lost 4-1, I believe, and Ramos was very much callous to that. So, yeah, I think Real Madrid will win this game, and it's going to be a big seller tie. And I'm happy as a Chelsea fan because that's eliminating one of them if we do get through to the quarterfinals, and that's always a good thing. So we don't have to play one of either PSG or Real Madrid, because I really didn't want either of them, to be honest. So I'm really happy, and PSG, I'm so happy we didn't draw them, because a lot of people were saying Bayern Munich are the main threat, and I do agree with that to a massive extent. But PSG, something about that front three of PSG, it just strikes fear into me. Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar can beat any team of any generation on the best of their days. So that's why I was scared of PSG, and I'm so happy we didn't draw them.
Yeah, well said there. I'm glad that you actually admitted the fact that, you'll be happy not to kind of face them, because I know a lot of fans just go haywire and say that, hey, we've got to beat the best team and all. Come on, we've seen so many Champions League, and we know that at the end of the day, it's got to be basically the fixtures which kind of determine where you land up, to an extent, not totally, but yes, I agree with you there totally, Taron. But yes, moving on, I think in terms of basically the fixtures itself, I think, Baba, let's talk about basically what happened today, right? As in the fiasco. I know that a lot of confusion that came up, and there was some technical error, and that's what was told.
Technical error.
Exactly,
Technical
but
error.
such a high-profile draw. I know that errors do happen, but such a high-profile draw. Really, Baba, you have to say that there is something shady out there, right? For sure.
See, when you get caught cheating, right, then you admit it that I've done something wrong. I admit it. I'm in the wrong.
Yeah.
Give me another chance. I'll set things right. That is what has happened today, because they knew they fucked up during the draw on the stage, and they know that this mass of people on Twitter when analyze every movement microscopically, and if it happens, they'll be in trouble, because they are fresh from a controversy in form of Ballon d'Or recently, and already that ESL, that UEFA corruption, fiasco, all of those things, UEFA is in scrutiny right now. And especially with the rise of social media and all these conspiracy theories, then those exposes done by Romain Molina regarding French football and all those things that UEFA does and all these. So that would have, kept UEFA in a very bad light. So they were like, we fucked up. We made a mistake. We wanted PSG versus United, but we did not manage that quite well. So let's do it again, and let's not drop PSG United again. And if you notice, the last 4 teams, United and PSG, were still there. They could have been drawn again. They could have been drawn again in the second time round. I think Arshavin opened the wrong ball, if I may say so. I think he wanted to open the other ball. He opened Atletico Madrid by mistake when he wanted to open the opponent for Manchester United. So yes, I think it's a cover up. It's nothing like a technical fault or anything of that sort. Because see, things are not looking good. Regarding COVID, right?
Yeah.
Germany has started to go into lockdown, and the games are started to being played behind closed doors. UEFA has, what I think, it's not like that UEFA thinks like this, but what I think is, if these matches are to be played behind closed doors, these round of 16 matches, then the blockbuster match will be PSG versus United, Messi versus Ronaldo. So they can do their best to raise the TV ratings and bring all the viewership that they can. And this might be the last time. This might have been the last time that we could have seen Messi versus Ronaldo. Because it is not a given that United will qualify for Champions League next season. And both the teams are, not in best of shapes right now. You cannot clearly predict a winner between Real Madrid and PSG. Like, it's not like PSG are playing a team like a Sporting or a Salzburg or a Villarreal. They are playing Real Madrid, and same goes for United too. So this is a thing that might have crossed UEFA's mind. I'm calling it right now. If United qualify for Champions League next season, PSG and United will make the same group. I'm damn sure. Because UEFA wants Messi versus Ronaldo one last time.
Yeah, and I won't deny that as well. Again, like as a neutral, we would not mind that, but yes, what goes behind the scenes, I actually go with you, Baba.
It's all about the money in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think let's take in a few comments now. I know that a lot of, I think Mark is asking who has the edge in the match between Liverpool and Inter. Like, come on, like Liverpool are in the form of basically the club that they are in the last few years. But
it's
I
a
think
70-30. It's a 70-30 in favor of Liverpool. Inter have to be absolutely top notch with their tactics and have to be on point. And it is very difficult to win in Anfield, especially those Champions League nights. It is not for everyone. Chelsea has done it a couple of times, but it is not for everyone. But I wanted to know about, I wanted to know from Taron, like, what does he think about this conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I mean, I have a different take, I'd say. We saw in the recent years, like you said, everything from the draw is so kind of watched very closely. So if there's little mistakes like this, they are really picked up on. We haven't seen anything really like this, and as soon as I can remember, can you guys remember any kind of stuff in the draw? I can't remember anything on my whole life of watching these.
It's a first for me.
Exactly. So it just feels a bit weird, and I feel like there was no guarantee that the ball that ruined everything that was picked out from the guys. There was no guarantee that ball was really going to be one that would affect the draw. And I know maybe it was put into the wrong pot, which caused everything to go wrong, caused all the different probabilities to go down. But UEFA could have carried on with this thing if it would have happened in the past. It obviously has happened in the past. So the way I view it, I think it was a mistake from UEFA, and they have gone back to it. They have addressed and they have done the draw again, which I think is fair play to them. Even though people have picked up on it, if these things would have happened in the recent years with their kind of corruption, UEFA would have, the fans would have picked up on it easily, and there would have been another thing. But this is the first year we've seen something like this. I think Messi versus Ronaldo maybe could have been something that fans want to see, that could get more money for them. But then again, why didn't they do that in the recent years? We had no guarantee that Ronaldo was going to carry on at Man United. He was going to play for Juve. He was going to do this or do that. There was no guarantee that Ronaldo versus Messi was ever going to happen, even last season. So for it to happen this season again, Ronaldo looks like he could potentially stay at Man United for another year. He doesn't look like he's in the shape to leave. Messi doesn't look like he's going to retire anytime soon. So it doesn't even feel like the the last year for these two to play against each other. I think Ronaldo said the next World Cup is his last, and he'll be looking to retire soon as that. So, and say Messi. So I don't understand. Maybe next year I would have understood, but this year I don't really get the Ronaldo and Messi comparisons in terms of the draw, putting them against each other. And yeah, they've done it again. So fair play. They've addressed the issue and they've gone over it again. And yeah, I think it was a mistake from UEFA, and they've gone over it. So I respect them in that aspect. I think UEFA have done a lot of bad stuff to Chelsea in the past. So for a Chelsea fan to be coming out and be backing them in this aspect, I think says a lot. But it was a mistake. They've moved past it. We've done the draw fairly again. And there was some kind of comment about the Man United Villarreal game. But Villarreal can't draw against Real Madrid. So I think people would have picked up on that quick soon. So yeah, I think it was a mistake, and fair play to UEFA for picking up on it.
Absolutely. As in again, let's just kind of give them the benefit of doubt this time. But yeah, as in there will be watchers like Baba said, right? And then again, there are definitely a lot of other fixtures that we have to talk about. Yes, I think some comments about Lille Chelsea, we discussed it briefly. So do take a look back at the stream if you missed it. But I think I'll just share my screen again. This is basically obviously the Europa League fixture also there. I know there are some fans in the chat, so. This is what the Europa League. I think these are the playoffs draw. So it is interesting for me. Again, like if you really ask me, considering what draws happened, I think the first time for the Champions League versus the second time, I would say the Europa League draws for me are somehow a lot more interesting in terms of 50-50 games. Taron, like whom would you say? Like who's the favorite for you? Barcelona, Napoli, a lot of good sides at Porto, Lazio, Leipzig.
Yeah, I'd say probably Leipzig right now, in my opinion. I think Leipzig have brought in Domenico Tedesco, who was one of the masterminds to Schalke's success when they reached the semi-finals of the Champions League, when they beat Man City, when they were doing really well, actually, in UEFA competition before their downfall. Tedesco was a great gegenpressing manager, and Leipzig have brought him in now, which is interesting because Ranić wanted him on his coaching staff at Man United. So I think Leipzig are going to do quite well under Tedesco. Dortmund, I would say so, but I think they're so reliant on Haaland. If Haaland does get injured again, which he does look like he can, with the sheer power of his body, sometimes he does take falls. He does pull muscles when he does exert his muscles so much. I feel like if Dortmund do get injured to Haaland, they'll struggle with Daniel Marlon up front, because I don't think he's quite the goal scorer that Haaland is. And yeah, it is interesting. Napoli have looked good, and they were actually flying in Serie A, but since the injury of Victor Osimhen, they've really struggled with Dries Mertens playing a false nine. So I don't think Napoli are quite up there. But then again, February time is when the match is kind of early February time when these matches will be played. So there could be enough time for Osimhen to come back. There could be enough time for any of these teams to build up enough momentum to break through into the next round. And yeah, Barcelona, I wouldn't say they're favourites. Under Xavi, I know it's very early in his tenure, but I've been very, very disappointed, to be honest. I don't think they play the way that Xavi wants them to play. I don't think these players are quite... I don't think there's enough experience in that team. PK is not really a leader, in my opinion. He's just a very good reader of the game. Sergio Busquets, in my opinion, is not a real leader. There's a lot of young players, but no real vocal kind of player in that team to J everyone up and make everyone feel a bit more comfortable on that pitch. So I wouldn't say Barcelona are favourites to win. I'd say I do edge towards Red Bull Leipzig. And Kunku's been in electrifying form this season. Forsberg, since his great Euro campaign, has really hit off the season as well. So yeah, Red Bull Leipzig, I think I'll be very, very surprised if they don't go and win. And to be honest, they should have gone through into the round of 16 of the Champions League if they would have sacked Jesse Marsch a bit sooner. So you can look at either ways. And like you said, the Europa League draw was much more interesting because I want to see Barcelona get some really bad team, and it would have been quite funny for football Twitter. But yeah, they've got Napoli, and you don't know what could happen.
And there was a report suggesting that during the halftime in the Bayern game, Xavi was he was all over his players, and he was saying that you don't know what it is like to play for a Barcelona badge, and you don't have what it takes. So he's already,
he's struggling within a few weeks.
He's already struggling. Yes, he's not able to, motivate his players and bring them up to that level. So
listen, yeah, Barcelona will need time to rebuild under Xavi. They will not be. I don't think it was smart to bring in Xavi mid-season because you brought him into a really tight schedule when you needed some stability, like we had with Thomas Tuchel. But they brought in an inexperienced manager who needs time in the summer to rebuild, to bring his players together, and they've brought someone so inexperienced in mid-season. So this project will take 2-3 years for Barcelona to get anywhere near back to where they took. So
I think it was more of a ploy to shut the fans up because they were calling for Xavi, and it was a trick to please the fans. I think Xavi was not a wise choice. I think Antonio Conte would have made more sense, but Barcelona board knows that he demands players, he demands finances, and they are not in a position to back him financially. So that wouldn't have worked for them. And I don't know what is this Barcelona style of playing, and we managers who are acquainted with Barcelona style of playing, you have to rebuild your club, then talk about your style of playing. What was the formation that he was playing in that game against Osasuna? It was 2-2. That they drew.
Do you see that they played like a 3-3-3-1?
3-3-3-1. 3-3-3-3-1. What was that?
They should never have sacked Valverde, in my opinion. That was stupid. Just because he lost to Liverpool, he lost like one home game in 2 years, wasn't it? For Barcelona. So he was doing great things, and they sacked him and brought in Quique Setien, which was the 8-2 manager. So yeah.
Yeah, and then again, like we can talk a lot about Barcelona because yes, we can go on forever about Barcelona, but yes, let's see. As in, it's definitely a transition season, like you mentioned, Taron, and I agree about they are still figuring out how to play. And again, it'll be interesting. Again, this common Europa League looks good this season. Like again, if you ask me, the Europa League fixture, like I said, some of them are possibly more tastier than the Champions League fixtures. And again, that's what I really genuinely believe in.
Ooh, yeah. I'm going to have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Okay, I just overdid myself, and I realized, no, come on, we can talk about Europa League, but it's got to be about Champions League. So again, people in the chat, do take the poll, and the poll is about the Champions League draw result. Where do you see basically, maybe one of your clubs landing, maybe in the final, who wins it, and that's something that we will possibly take a look at, what kind of votes come through. But again, panel as well as chat, like among all the fixtures which basically were out, you would possibly rate the PSG Real Madrid as a top fixture as a neutral to watch. What do you think?
PSG, Real Madrid, and Atletico Man United. I think those two.
Barca Napoli also. I would actually be wanting to watch because that has a lot of we cannot expect what to get in that game. So one of those games. But again, a lot of chat there about the Champions League, the Europa League. I think now
Liverpool Inter is also quite interesting.
Oh yeah, Liverpool Inter. I think one of the members in the chat did ask for Liverpool Inter. Again, I think it's about injuries, right? When Liverpool are going to African Cup of Nations, they have a couple of main players. It depends on how they come back, and I think even us for that matter. If you're not wrong, Taron, we are having the Club World Cup, I think, first week of February, and then we'll possibly have the Champions League the following week. It's going to be really hectic. I'm hoping it's not what.
Thank God we are not playing Bayern or Real Madrid. Thank God.
Exactly.
We are not.
But still, I would not underestimate. We are
I think, yeah, I think it might be postponed to a few weeks later because there's no way we can play in the Club World Cup and come back a day later with all the quarantining, potentially with the level going up in the UK to Tier 4 now. There's no way they can do that a few days later and travelling. I think we're at home against Lille, so we're going to have to quarantine. So I think it will be postponed to a few Wednesdays later or a few Tuesdays later.
Yeah, a fair point.
Best thing is to have it in UK, the Club World Cup.
it actually makes sense. It's just about, as in the Club World Cup, I think came into being because of they wanting to spread football or rather get money, honestly speaking. As in these are the only two real objectives. As in otherwise, why would I actually play with a random team? Again, no disrespect to any team, but again, we know that the best teams are, in Europe, like in terms of club football, right? But again,
I just hope it does not get cancelled.
You never know. It's a Chelsea thing, Baba. But let's not jinx it. But definitely,
I haven't ordered this. I haven't ordered this season's jersey because I'm waiting for the Club World Cup badge to be put on.
Great.
So after we win this, then I will order this season's jersey. The tournament is not happening only.
Interesting. Let's see. As in, I'm still kind of eagerly waiting. But yes, let's move on to basically the Premier League that happened last weekend. Of course, a lot of talk again. We did review on the channel, of course, the Chelsea match, but again, there were a lot of other talking points. And let's begin with Chelsea. Baba, I'll stick to you. Now, I know, Baba, you are really unhappy about our recent performances. You've got a record. I've actually been there, heard you a lot. But I don't know, I have a slightly different opinion, you may say so, because at some point, basically, we had to basically get those lucky penalties, get miss those red cards and get those 3 points, because December has been so busy and it's been terrible last couple of seasons in December. So I would actually take that if you really offer me. And knowing that Kovacic and Kante are anyway going to be back in a couple of weeks, so it can only get better. So do you see us, striving for the title challenge till January end?
Yes, if we are able to grind results and not fall too much far behind, like we have already bottled a 5 point lead. We were quite comfortable, and we shouldn't have dropped points against Manchester United, Burnley. West Ham was a nightmare. We should have managed that game a lot better. Going into the halftime, we were 2-1 up. I don't know why we were trying to kill the game. It was like we were playing at Stamford Bridge and we were trying to kill the game. Jared Bowen was all over us in that game. We could have managed that game a lot better. And actually, the manner in which we are conceding goals is worrying me a lot. Like, it is very easy for opposition players to get behind the channels now. People talk about Chelsea's defense. That it was not the defense, it was the midfield that was protecting the defenders. And now that we don't have the disruptor who can disrupt the play, that destroyer who can dispossess the oppositions, or the opposition players are scared of, they have a free day. They have a field day against Chelsea's backline now, because the screen is not there in front of the back three. So
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek can't do that role. Jorginho cannot do that role. To go out and dispossess other players. And Loftus-Cheek, I don't understand why he takes so much time on the ball, man. Sometimes he irritates me. Really, he has a lot of ability, but I don't know why he is not doing justice to his ability. So there are few things that we need to fine tune. It is not anything catastrophic, or our season is gone, or a title race is in the mud. I believe in Thomas Tuchel, but Thomas Tuchel being Thomas Tuchel, in Mainz he was renowned for changing his formation. I think it's a stat. He changed his formation in all 34 games in that season in Bundesliga. So why being so stubborn when you don't have a double six pivot? Experiment with other systems, and you have to have a plan B. You cannot rely on plan A. And everything was going fine till Chilwell's injury. Everything was going fine. It was looking like we will go for the treble. Suddenly, Chilwell and Kante get injured in the same match against Juventus, and all has gone to shit from then. But I hope it's a mini blip and we can come back from it. And thanks heaven for Jorginho for keeping his nerve in that final penalty against Leeds. I mean, it is such a pressure situation. I cannot even imagine myself in Jorginho's shoes in that
Especially
situation.
that he's missed recently, right? He's missed what, at least
Uh,
2-3 penalties, Chelsea
yes.
and Italy put together. So yeah, as in respect to the
Ice in
guy.
his veins. That man has got ice in his veins. And see, the most unfortunate part of, I won't say us Chelsea fans or Chelsea fans in general, I don't want to generalize anything. There's a section of fans in every fan base, that supports a particular club. They become very reactionary. They always point out to the couple of mistakes that Jorginho has committed recently, that pass against West Ham and that blunder that he committed, which led to that Sancho goal against Man United. But what about all the good work that he has done for us since Thomas Tuchel has taken over? You cannot discredit him. And again, in Zenit game, he was not there. Our midfield was nowhere to be seen. In Watford game, which we did a watch along for together, our midfield was non-existent. You see Jorginho come in and you see control over there.
Yeah.
His performances might not translate into stats, and you cannot be, like he is best in these parameters. He's not a stat player, but he's a player which brings a lot to the table, and I think we must be very respectful of Jorginho, what he does for the team.
He's one of them, right?
So,
And just like we had in the yesterday's Makelele. So
mm,
Makelele, I know like the
mm,
pundits kind of understood what Makelele got to the team,
mm,
but maybe that time, maybe I had just kind of started following the football from just a couple of years, right? And I remember that I used to myself criticize him a lot, but then the moment Makelele was gone, we all realized as Chelsea fans what he brought to the team, and that's something that Jorginho, I think, in future will possibly be as well. Like one of those players that we'll probably possibly miss in the future. Hopefully, he stays, but let's see.
football has become all about this flashy brilliance, that player scoring 40 goals every season. Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he provides so many chances in the final third and so many assists. No one talks about the defensive abilities, because it's all about goals, assists. That's it. Jorginho only
Yeah.
scores penalties, so he's a lesser player. I don't get that logic.
Ballon d'Or shouts, And then again, those are like, let's not go there. I would not like to definitely get there. But yes, I totally hear you, Baba. And yes, again, a lot of people there, Devils United in the house, a great channel. Do, check it out. Definitely, I do a lot of, as in watching with Devils United a lot of times. And I actually love the channel. Same with Dugout Football Channel, Chelsea Perspective. And I think I might have missed a couple of them. So yes. And I know a few of them in the chat are asking about Baba's all-time 11. I think Taron, myself also are wanting to get there, and we will get to basically best of Europe. So do stay till the end, because yes, a lot of things that we'll be discussing. And talking about penalties and the week that went by, right? Taron, I know that a lot of say neutral fans or other clubs fans said that Rudiger died, or maybe that was theatrical. But again, I would say, like, in a way, that what has happened to maybe other clubs, I think Man City especially, like, please tell me one logic why that Man City penalty kind of stood against Moutinho. Like, I was trying to think what could be that one logic. Taron, please tell me.
Yeah, I mean, that penalty was. I'll get back to that in a second, because I actually have a controversial opinion on that Man City penalty, and that doesn't sound good for me already, but I'll come back to that. And yeah, these days you have to do that to win a penalty. You can't just, for example, if you stand up and someone kicks you, and if someone boots you in the leg and you stand up and you don't fall over, they probably won't give us a pen, because most likely if you do fall over, say Rudiger got kicked by Click really hard, which he did, and he stood up, then that wouldn't have been given as a penalty, whether you're VAR, all these other kind of sources looking at it. You need to fall down to a penalty. Look at Dan James on the other end. Alonso, you can say that he went through James a lot, which he did probably a little bit, but James was so theatrical in that as well. He actually flew over, like Rudiger just absolutely chopped him to the floor. But you have to do that to win a pen these days. If we're drawing 2-2 in the 93rd minute and we are playing so bad recently, we need a win, I would do anything to win a penalty for my team, knowing that I have Jorginho to win the game for us. So people who say that's theatrical, I don't really understand. And yeah, the penalties, again, a bit crazy now these days, despite VAR. You can see my dog behind me there.
Yeah.
He's just
Big up to the dog as well.
He's a Chelsea fan, so yeah, we'll let him. Yeah, I think that Wolves penalty, I'm going to be controversial here. I don't think it can possibly be a pen for hitting the side, but to block across like this with arm out, I don't think you can do that these days. It's as simple as that. Mostly pens aren't given if the player has their hands behind their arms. Then you know he's not trying to do that. And you cannot simply do that these days. You cannot block anything with your arms here, your arms anywhere around your body. They need to be at your sides. And Moutinho's arm was so far out, like he was trying to block the ball, but he couldn't. Obviously, I don't think it was a pen overall, but I can see why it was given by the officials. It almost acted like a barrier for the ball in terms of it was stuck between the kind of arm and kind of body area. It was kind of trapped between there, if you get what I mean. Say hit his side and his arm was here, or hit his shoulder, it wouldn't have been given as a pen. But the fact that it was like kind of in between the kind of chasm of his arm and his rib cage, I can see why that was given. But I don't think it should have been a pen. Very, very soft. Man City all over, to be honest. But I'm not completely astounded by the decision. I can see why the refs have decided to keep that penalty call. And yeah, penalties are really apparent all the time in football now. It's so much easier to get a pen than it was before. Obviously, last season it was absolutely crazy. But this season it's still very easy to get a penalty. A slight bit of contact and you go down. 90% of the time it's a pen. So we can't do anything about it. It's unfortunately, we have one of the best leagues in the world, but some of the worst officials in Europe, unfortunately. So that's probably why. I think the connection gone.
Yes. I think he has lost his power. He was saying
you can
that
carry on about the penalty kind of.
Yes, I think it's more to do with the time they see the replay. They see those replays again and again and again, and it changes your mind every time you see that replay, right?
Yeah.
And you have to have a real conclusive evidence that if it is a pen or not, because that changed the whole game. I would have really been happy if Wolves somehow could have grinded a draw out, and they were looking like it. Like Con Cody was having a really good game. Ayat Nouri was playing really well. Jose Sa was keeping really well. A couple of goal line clearances. That Kilman header, almost I was like off my seat when Kilman, tried to score with that header. So yeah, I think. See, it's a human being, right, who's making that decision in the VAR room. So you cannot be consistent. It has to be either very objective, and you have to be like machine driven for this, but it is not possible. If mistakes are to be made on the field, and if they are being made in the room, it's the same for me. So I think you should keep VAR for offside and goal line technologies. That's it. Let the blunders.
Yeah, I mean, there is kind of one point, I guess. I just don't understand the clear and obvious error thing. They've never really explained that in any rule. Does clear and obvious error mean, the ref didn't see it? Obviously, it's an obvious error. But I've seen pens given when it's not clear and obvious error. So I'm not quite sure on this particular stat. I know you said that the refs are still in control of the VAR room, the same refs who make the same mistakes on a daily basis, but they have a replay. They can look at that is the kind of benefit. They have the different angles to see if it is a pen or if it's not a pen. And unfortunately, sometimes in slow motion, it looks so much more like a pen than it was in fast motion. I do not agree with watching replays in slow motion, because that literally heightens everything. For example, say I turned off all the lights in my room and sat with my eyes closed, I'd feel all my senses more like around me, like smells, everything. I'd be so wary. So for it to be given in slow motion over a normal kind of game speed, I don't think it should be shown in slow motion, to be frankly honest. Just see, I understand zooming in or stuff like that, just to see really in magnified situation if it was contact, but slow motion just ruins the whole integrity of the challenge and the foul. So the refs are just more inconsistent by the week. I'm a ref myself, and I don't quite understand what the FA are telling me to do. So look, it's all a bit confusing right now, and the league is going to suffer for it very, very soon. We're going to get more bad reviews about the VAR. We're going to see more foreign refs coming in, similar to Jared Gillett, who's coming from Australia to help the Premier League team. We might see more of the Champions League called refs, because we don't really see these mistakes in the Champions League.
And that is the reason why we don't have English referees in the Champions League finals or in World Cup finals. You find German referees, you find Italian referees, you find Turkish referees, but you don't find English referees because they are so inconsistent. And like, for example, us Chelsea fans have a PTSD from Anthony Taylor. Like, we all know if Anthony Taylor is in charge, something is going to happen. So why this inconsistency is there, I don't know. So let's hope that it gets better. And what were your thoughts about the Liverpool game? I think Steven Gerrard got a very warm reception, and it's a good thing when I see things like that, people acknowledging their legends. And even when Antonio Conte will come to Stamford Bridge for the return fixture, I think he will get a good reception, in my opinion. I think.
Oh, you think he'll get a good reception? I'll be there at the ground that day, and I won't be giving him a good reception. Believe me, there. I don't think I will, just because. You can't go to Spurs. I'm sorry. After what you all said about Spurs, you really can't go to Spurs. I feel the same.
I get your emotion, because yes, you are there. You are witnessing the rivalry first. And for me, sitting 5,000 miles away, I might not get that emotion. But yes, I agree with you. Yes, you can't go to Spurs. I mean, we have that rivalry with Spurs, but we cannot discredit what good he did for us in the 2 seasons. It's a shame that he had to go because of that fallout that he had with the board. But Steven Gerrard coming back to Liverpool, I think Aston Villa were quite resolute in their defending, although they conceded a cheap penalty. Tyrone Mings. Do you think Tyrone Mings is an elite defender? I don't think he's an elite defender.
I don't like Tyrone Mings, to be honest, as a player. I don't think he's as great as Konsa. I think Konsa is more composed. He doesn't make stupid mistakes. I think Mings' leadership is good. He does marshal that back line. He did it for Dean Smith, and he's doing it now for Steven Gerrard. But I think Mings has just lost his motivation of playing for Villa, in my opinion. He probably realized that he was one of the main players a few years ago. He wanted the big move to a bigger club, and now he's just kind of stayed kind of at a normal level playing for Villa for a few years. So it doesn't look like Mings' head is always in it for Villa. I think they might need to invest in new centre-back soon if Mings doesn't continue to do well. But yeah, that game for Steven Gerrard, I think if Lampard came back to the bridge, it'd be the same. Absolutely amazing reception, because Gerrard is undoubtedly the best player in Liverpool's history. You can't really think of many, maybe some of the Steve McManaman, some of the old players, but Jamie Carragher. But I think Gerrard is definitely their best player. He's done well. He did amazing at the club. He left in a nice manner as well.
That Liverpool Fernando Torres used to scare me a lot. I was over the moon when we signed Fernando Torres. Like, I was like, okay, at least we won't concede against Liverpool now.
Yeah, and we signed him, and then he stopped scoring for us and stopped. So basically, we signed him to stop him scoring goals for anyone, including us. So yeah, I understand that. And that Liverpool game, I didn't really catch much of it, but the goal from Salah, another penalty. Salah is just unbelievable. I think that's 14 goals and 9 assists. And we're only in the middle of December. So he could potentially, if he continues now, get 26 goals and 18 assists in a Premier League season, which is like Eden Hazard standards, which is really, really incredible. So yeah, fair play to Salah. Liverpool grinded out the result. They kept another clean sheet, which is what they're doing, which is what we're not doing right now. But when AFCON comes around, I think they're going to struggle massively because Salah and Mane, I believe, are like 40% of their goal involvement, something crazy like that. So when they lose Salah and Mane and bring in Origi and Minamino, they could struggle massively. So yeah, we'll go back to Ankit now. But we were just discussing the Liverpool game, Ankit.
And
You
he's
know
gone
what?
again.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are basically a lot of power issues here, as in it's been raining cats and dogs. So I'll just put the camera off for a few minutes until the power comes back because I don't want to scare off everyone here. Just the light flashing on my face. But yeah, I think again, thanks a lot for people sticking on, and I'm sure great conversation you guys are having. So I think we are discussing EPL, right? If I'm not wrong, Baba.
Yes. We were just about to finish the Liverpool game.
Perfect. And yeah, as in for me, I think Liverpool having got back-to-back victories, 1-0, kind of tells me that finally their strikers are just about behaving normal. They're not going to get like 3-0, 3-0, 4-0 every game. And I don't know. Let's see, as a Chelsea fan, hopefully, their kind of downward spiral is starting now. But again, that's just me as a Chelsea fan, right? Like I always say. And yes, a lot of comments here. I'll just quickly take. Refs coming from other countries would be great. Absolutely, great point. That I'm sure you guys have had a great discussion around it. English referee is a horrible period. And but Lukaku has barely played, so can't call him a flop. Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. And yes, Baba is everywhere, and love listening to Baba. And of course, for people out there, do check out Taron's socials as well. Taron is, I think, live very regularly on Nigerian radio, and of course on Almighty Blues FC. I'm glad to say that Taron is a regular panel, and I'm sure people will love his thoughts as well. Of course, Baba always has been great, and hopefully that continues. So yes, I think shall we move on back? I know that we've discussed EPL, Champions League draw reaction. Let's have some fun. What do you say, guys?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so this is about actually just a debate. So I would like the chat to also get involved. Again, I'm not putting on the camera for a specific reason as I don't want to scare you off. But yes, this is about the Champions League 11 till date. So again, I know a lot of fixtures happened. I know. I don't know what formation should we go for firstly, Baba, Taron.
Should we just go with 4-3-3?
Yes, let's go with 4-3-3. That would be great because we've won with 3 at the back and we have the other one with 4-2-3-1, the Di Matteo one. So it would be better if we go with a 4-3-3. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So again, this is only for this year, right? As in group stage performances, that basically who are the best performers till now. And 1 second, let me just see. I think probably means 4-3-3. Definitely, that's something that I go. So I'm creating the team side by side. And
okay, so we are making a UCL 11 of all the teams combined. I thought we were making a Chelsea 11 of all time. What we are doing?
No, I think we should do that as well, maybe in the next stream. So that's a great idea. But yeah, for now, I think let's do the UCL because of the UCL draw being fresh and of course the group stage being fresh. I thought cool. Let's go with the UCL 11 of only this particular season, right? As in who's been the best.
Okay. Cool.
Because who are the players that you would like to look forward to as well in the round of 16, but basically who's performed the best, right? So first and foremost, I'll just play a short video just to tell what are the kind of options for the goalkeeper. So here you go. Again, a lot of debate might be there, and people might be thinking, "Hey, come on, how can you not put in Mendy there?" But again, I just kind of picked from the stats the top 6. But Baba, Taron, and of course the chat do pitch in, and tell me if I missed anyone in these short videos. But firstly, Baba, I'll go to you. Who's your top goalkeeper this season till date in Champions League?
As much as I want to say Courtois, but I won't say Courtois. Courtois, I hate absolutely to my core.
Good one, good one. I like that. I like
I
that.
hate that guy to my core. I don't know why. I hate is a very strong word which I use very rarely, but I hate Thibaut Courtois. The only one person that I hate in this world is Thibaut Courtois. So Thibaut Courtois, even if he plays Ballon d'Or worthy, he won't be ever anything in my eyes. So he's out of the question for me. Okay. So if we talk about the guy who has had the impact, I think David De Gea has carried United somewhat to an extent. Like his numbers might not be that great, but his saves were very crucial, and because of some of those saves, especially against Atlanta and Villarreal. One game I vividly remember Villarreal. He pulled off a couple of great saves, and and so far this season he has been their best player, David De Gea, without a doubt. And he has kept them in top 10 in the Premier League, and he has carried them to him and Ronaldo both of them have carried Manchester United to round of 16. So I am slightly big. Oblak, see, it took Atletico Madrid last day to qualify because going into the last match day, Atletico were bottom of their group, and Benfica. Okay, I am not that much inclined towards. So I'll go for David De Gea, my goalkeeper in the team.
Okay, interesting. Like I'll take that as a vote. Taron, what's your vote for?
I've actually gone with a different one compared to the ones on our list, so that's possible. It's not Mendy, it's actually Remco Pasveer from Ajax. He's played every single game for them in the group stages. He's aged 38, which I think is crazy. Obviously, he had to step in after the Onana kind of situation last season, and he's been really, really good every time I've watched him. Ajax play total football meta. They play very attacking, so they need a very strong leadership. They need a strong leader in goal who's good with his feet, who makes crucial saves. And Pasveer's only conceded 2 goals. I think 5 goals in the whole of the Champions League so far. So he's been a great goalkeeper, very under the radar compared to all these other ones who I think have much better defenses in front of them to protect them. Especially Benfica, I think Jan Vertonghen and Nicolas Otamendi, Grimaldo can play there as well. So yeah, I say Ajax have Ajax goalkeeper Pasveer has been my goalkeeper tournament so far.
Wow, as in that's a left field choice. I must say, like me not putting in Ajax goalkeeper is kind of surprising. Taron, the Dutch connection there. But again, like people in the chat do vote. Like again, I hope I can get a vote in as well. I actually agree with Baba there. Honestly speaking, again, as much as I would love to say Courtois, but I think
no Courtois, or I'm leaving.
Definitely not. Don't worry. I mean, that's not going to happen because I think, again, I am just trying to put the neutral hat for me. Certainly, as David De Gea kind of kept Manchester United in games, as in Real Madrid would have still won those games. And I hear Taron about Pasveer. I think Pasveer was really good. But for me, I think, and we'll come to the defenders, but it's about the defense saving Pasveer as much as him kind of saving the team. And that's just my view. But people in the chat, let's see, as in Amit Roy actually is going for Edison. Interesting. Here, just by your says Ankit, why no Mendy? First of all, I think Kepa played a game or two, and as in going by the stats, Mendy unfortunately did not have many saves to make. I know in terms of clean sheets, we are right up there, but I think the amount of saves that maybe a Courtois or maybe a David De Gea made were far more. I know maybe just put on the spot. So I think on that basis alone, and they won their side's points. In terms of David De Gea especially, like. I think Ankush is saying again, thanks everyone who just subscribed. And yes, we've just hit 700. Thanks to you all. And hopefully this is just, a start and we'll go to 1,000 very soon. And I think I am putting in David De Gea, just going by the votes. And I got a vote here for Courtois.
No Courtois.
Sorry about that. I am definitely putting in David De Gea. Taron, I hope that's okay.
We moved on from Czech for Courtois. I mean, we had to let go of Czech for Courtois because he was our future. Come on. And then he go on and does that to us. Absolutely.
But honestly, this guy is actually showing what he can be. Like, again, he's not as consistent as maybe a Czech yet. But again, that's a lot of things that we can talk about him. But yeah, I just put in David De Gea there. And as I say that, I think now let's move on to the midfielder. So we have to pick 4. at the back. So here are some of the options that I have. So let's take a look quickly. Okay, so I think this can kind of bring about a debate. So firstly, I'll go with fullbacks. So Taron, I'll go with your vote first. What about the fullbacks? Which are the two best fullbacks for you in the UCL this season?
I'll go with Joao Cancelo on the right and Alphonso Davies on the left. That's probably the safe option, I'd say. I've gone with a pretty out of the box one in goal. But I think Cancelo has just been different gravy this season. I think he's been the best right back in the Premier League, and I'm a massive fan of Reece James. But I think Cancelo is different gravy as an inverted fullback. And Davies has had, I believe, the most successful dribbles in Europe this season maybe it might even be a forward, but I think it's defender. Because he's had some crazy stats, and Davies and Cancelo would absolutely destroy any team if they played together.
Yeah, and I think Ankush is wondering like if this is live, and how are you putting these all? And that's what happens on Almighty Blues FC. So definitely, hoping for you to come back, and you'll see a lot of these in future as well. But I think again, we are learning from the best, and I think Baba knows his stuff as well. And Baba, I think you would agree with those choices of Taron.
Yes, I would agree. Like Cancelo, he has put it very well that he has been absolutely amazing this season, and Alfonso Davies is a beast. We saw that firsthand when we played Bayern at Stamford Bridge 2 years ago. So yeah, no debates about that. Cancelo and Alfonso
Interesting.
Davies. Yes.
Because I
Reece
actually
James,
thought
I think
this
Reece
debate.
James would have been there, but Cancelo is slightly ahead of Reece James right now.
Interesting. Again, people in the chat again, they are going for centre backs, and we'll come to that definitely. I think coming to centre backs, obviously a Chelsea bias. I can smell some Chelsea bias there, honestly speaking, but they've been great as well. That's why they were contenders, and I think Militao, Alaba are possibly options. Yes, fullbacks I put in Alfonso Davies and Cancelo, but for centre backs, Taron, which are your two best centre backs this season?
First of all, I'm going to go with Militao over Alaba. I think Militao's been amazing this season, stepping up. Like I mentioned for Real Madrid, I think they've been superb defensively as a unit. Militao finally living up to his potential that we first saw at Porto. So great to see for Diego Militao. I could put Rudiger in there, to be frankly honest. I think he's been very stellar this season. And you saw the one game he was missing, we were torn apart like the shreds. But I wouldn't say Rudiger's been one of the best defenders in the Champions League this season. So I'm edging towards Ruben Diaz, but I'm going to go for an outlandish one. I'm going to go for Nicolas Otamendi. Stepped up massively for Benfica alongside Vlachodimos in goal and Vertonghen at the back. He's done very well, apart from the game where they kind of fell apart against Bayern in the late stages. They've kept 4 clean sheets. Otamendi's been very good in the middle of that back three, and he's really stepped up since he's left Man City, which is good to see. And yeah, it could be a good link up with the other player I picked.
Yeah, then that's a good call. So I think you finally went with Militao, and who's the second one?
Nicolas Otamendi.
Otamendi. I think Otamendi, he's had the highest number of I think tackles, if I'm not wrong, in the Champions League. Baba, I know that a lot of choices there for centre back. So what's the best partnership for you?
Militao and Rudiger.
Interesting. So I think let's put in Militao first. I think that is sorted. I think I can also agree there. And the antics that he had versus Inter went in Real Madrid's favor. So I think I'm kind of definitely putting in Militao. I think with Rudiger and I think Otamendi. Now again, I will come to this for the chat to pitch in. So chat, what do you think between Rudiger and Otamendi? I'm kind of surprised that basically, a lot of people are going in for Rudiger. I am assuming, being a Chelsea fan myself, a lot of people watching are Chelsea fans, but I see a lot of other fan clubs, definitely being
and this
represented
might
as
be
well.
their centre back partnership next season also. Rudiger and
Come on, Baba. Let's not go there. But yeah, then you have a point certainly. And Amitra is asking Baba view on Walker. Yeah, I think Walker, Baba, what do you think? We didn't consider Walker on the right, no? Red card eliminates him, right? Come on.
Yeah, red card eliminates him, but he's a very good defender, no doubt about it. He's very fast, very strong, uh, does the job both ways, attacking wise and defending also. Yeah, he is a balanced fullback. What you need right now. He's not your typical modern fullback who always bombs forward and attack contributes attacking wise only. He has this balance about him, which makes him very dangerous.
Yeah. Fair enough. And I think, a lot of votes are coming in for Rudiger. And I actually, if you really ask me my vote, yes, I can actually understand Rudiger being a top choice. And I'm actually, forced to kind of rethink. No bias here, trust me. I remember the Zenit game, like we speak about the Zenit game, right? And then when Rudiger was not there, we saw the defense was in shambles. And I think in the Champions League, otherwise, I think we've been one of the top teams. Even that Juventus game, I know that was possibly a mistake by Rudiger. Chiesa beating him, but for me, overall, if you see, like Rudiger has been the leader that we needed in the Champions League. So I think most consistent defender, and I think one of the most defensive teams in this Champions League has either been Chelsea or Juventus. So I think obviously I'm not going to go with Juventus defenders. Delict has more mistakes than Rudiger. So I think I am kind of going for Rudiger, going with the chat as well, right? So I'm just putting in Rudiger as I speak. So yeah, we have the back five ready here. And the back five is basically Alfonso Davis, Rudiger, Militao, Cancelo, and David De Gea. And as Baba said, maybe Rudiger and Militao kind of play together in future. Hoping not, still having some blind faith that they say. But we should definitely move on to basically the next section of players to be selected. So here are some options for you all. As in, I could have put maybe 20, 30 more options, honestly speaking. So, going by basically the Champions League fantasy team, these are the top picks in midfield and attack. But for me, it's a difficult choice. The main holding midfielder, Taron, would you go for Jorginho? You have a different pick.
I really could go for Jorginho, and I probably should as a Chelsea fan, but I can't look past Casemiro, to be honest. I think he's been different gravy in the Champions League this season for Real Madrid. Jorginho, has he scored a penalty? I think he must have scored one somewhere along the line so far, but I think, Casemiro has been more rounded. Jorginho's missed the last game, obviously, against Zenit, and Casemiro has played all six, so it's natural to put Casemiro in. So you just want the holding for me, Ankit, or do you want me to say that?
Yeah, you can tell me the three midfielders in middle.
Yeah. Okay. So the other one I go for is Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich. I don't know if he was on that list, but he's been amazing. He's such a dynamic threat going forward for Bayern Munich. And the other one, it was a tough decision again for this particular one. And I really was looking for a Chelsea midfielder to put there, but we've missed them for so long. But in the end, I've actually gone for N'Golo Kante. I think every game he's played, he's been superb. And, I'm not going to explain too much, but put Kante in. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Kante, Goretzka, and you went for Casemiro, right? Interesting choices, I must say. Baba, and of course the chat, pitch in for your midfielders. Baba, what do you say?
I agree with Casemiro. Casemiro definitely the holding midfielder. Then I really want to put Bernardo Silva in there because he has been absolutely amazing for Manchester City. So Bernardo Silva will be one of my. I won't play him in the forward line. Forward three, I have different players in mind. So Bernardo Silva for once, give him that free roam role, right, which he is doing so well right now. And the third midfielder, Goretzka is a really good shout. I mean, I absolutely forgot about him. So
But
Goretzka,
has he
yes.
been that player? Like I know, as in the post-lockdown season, he was like immense, like the way he came up. But maybe I'm just being kind of unfair on him. Has he been that level this season? That's my question.
I mean, he hasn't, let us feel the absence of Kimmich because Kimmich is out and he has been orchestrating that midfield by his own. And I mean, we could also, uh, look at Gravenberg from Ajax or Berghaus. Like they have also been really good. So, but Goretzka, I think, makes it. I mean, Goretzka is a good shout, yes. So Goretzka, Bernardo Silva, and Casemiro for me.
Okay, so basically I've been outvoted already before my vote, but yes, I'll come to the chat.
Verratti is also a good shout, yeah. Verratti, I forgot about.
Verratti,
Verratti hasn't played that much. I
yes,
mean,
let
he
me
was
actually
injured
check the
for quite a few
stats
games.
because yeah, I'm just going with the stats and of course the number of points they accumulated for me. I definitely see in terms of midfielders.
Luka Modric was also quite nice for
Yeah.
Real Madrid, I think. Luka Modric was also really. It's a very difficult job to pick three
Too many
midfielders.
midfielders, yes. Thiago, because of his goal, Porter, come on, Doug. We can't be that biased, but I get you. But again, yeah, I know, Doug, if you want to kind of join in, you can have a say because, yes, you may feel we may have a Chelsea bias here subconsciously. So, again, I would like to basically, send you the link, Doug. So, if you can join in, that'll be fantastic. Just give me a second. So, I will come to the comments. But yeah, for me, definitely it was between, I would say, Kante and Jorginho, one of them being the holding midfielder, and then I kind of buy the point on Goretzka. I can get that, and I think Bernardo Silva for me definitely is got to be there in terms of because of the formation that we're playing, right? And that's just me. Let's see how it goes in terms of the chat. I think in terms of the chat, let me just come again to the midfield. So Luka Modric has impressed by his performance yesterday. What do you say, Taron? Yes, Taron, you would agree, right? And against Atletico Madrid, he was a key, right? If he was a match.
Yeah, I think it's a good shout for Modric. I don't think he's been lighting the world apart. If that's fair to say. I think he's just worked very well, and he looks comfortable with Casemiro and Cruz as you expect him to be. And yeah, there's a lot of shouts about Bernardo Silva. I just had to put Kante in there, just because I had to put one Chelsea player. I haven't put any in so far, so I just thought I might as well put Kante in. But yeah, Bernardo Silva's a great shout. Even Thiago, I think, has probably been better than Kante. So I'm actually going to retract that and take it back for Thiago Kante. I think Thiago's been amazing for the Champions League for Liverpool this season. Absolutely amazing goal against Porto. And apart from that, alongside Fabinho, when he has another holding DM next to him, we know how good Thiago is. He's one of the best midfielders in Europe. And, I'm putting one of the other players you mentioned into my front three. But right now, I'm probably going to put Thiago in the midfield.
Wow, as in Thiago all of a sudden. I don't know, Baba, do you think we should put Thiago or I'm still kind of going with one of the. I know we put in Casemiro with Real Madrid. I think a lot of people are talking about Cruz being there. Was he kind of consistent over the 6 games? Yes, you can say that. Marco Verratti is again a great choice, but I think Bernardo Silva for me certainly should be there. Like if you ask me, and I think Casemiro is a shoe-in. It's about that third player. In terms of the formation that we're going, I think probably Verratti will fit best, if you really ask me, in terms of Casemiro, Verratti, and Bernardo Silva. So imagine.
See, it's a very difficult thing. If we are talking about the system and the formation, then the midfield trio changes. If we're talking about just how, on the basis of how they've performed, then it changes. So we have to first decide on what basis we are making the selection.
Okay, so you know what? We'll come back to this because I'm putting in Casemiro definitely there and Bernardo Silva being one of them, right? For sure. And we'll get back to this. And I think Michael Talk Football also had a comment, and I kind of don't not disagree, Michael. And Michael, again, just like Doug, I have sent you the link if you would like to join because we would like to get some opposition views as well. We don't want to kind of told as biased, but coming to the forward line. Baba, what are your choices? You had three in mind, if I remember right.
Vinicius, Holler, and Mo Salah.
Okay, I think Haller is definitely a no-brainer. Mo Salah as well, you can say that, but Vinicius, okay, has he been that consistent for 6 games? Interesting. Taron, what do you think?
Yeah, that's interesting. Again, I agree with Haller. He's got 10 goals in 6 games, which is insane for Ajax. The other ones, I don't know. It's difficult. Mo Salah definitely has to be in. I was thinking of putting Bernardo Silva in there personally. In the front three, which I think he can play that right and forward role very well. There's as many. Anthony's been very good for Ajax in Champions League. There's a lot of options between Anthony and Bernardo Silva, really, for me. You can't really leave out Bernardo Silva, in my opinion, but I am, and it's my opinion. So I'm going to put Anthony in there. Anthony, Sebastian, and Mo Salah.
Okay, you know what? That's kind of confusing me because yes, like you saw in the video, obviously that has part of my opinion, and that's why I put in Anthony is there in there as well. But the fact that we are putting in Haller, I know we are not distributing like the Ballon d'Or. We don't want to do that. But probably Haller has been most effective in terms of the Ajax team. So I would actually definitely have Haller there, and I think Salah is a shoo-in. Like the kind of dominance that Liverpool has shown is because of Salah. The difference maker in that group of death, so-called group of death, I think was Salah. And I think for the third one again, I would like to take the vote. So forward line people, I think a lot of people are going in with Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo is not a bad shout, Baba and Taron, because I think Ronaldo scoring what, 5
Ronaldo is a good shout, but Ronaldo plays the striker right as a lone man up top, so
Yes,
he
yeah,
cannot
that's the
be
issue,
picked
right?
above Haller.
And
We
what
probably
about
should have played
Lewandowski?
a 4-3-1-2 with 2 strikers. Now that we think of it, there's been many better strikers than wingers. To be honest, Ronaldo, Haller, Lewandowski.
Yeah,
we
you know
missed out
what?
on Lewandowski.
We can still do that. You think we should go for a 4-2-3-1?
No, like a 4-3-1-2 with the cam and 2 strikers in
Exactly.
front.
Yeah,
So why don't we just put Mo Salah definitely in behind as a cam, and let's put Haller, and it's difficult one for the striker. Are we going to go Lewandowski or Ronaldo or who else?
How many goals Lewandowski scored?
I think he scored 7.
He was, I think, tied with Haller. No, I think he scored more. Let me check quickly.
He hasn't scored more than
Lewandowski.
Haller. He hasn't scored more than Haller.
Yeah, he's not. He was tied, I think, until the 4th game or something. He was tied. And I'm just checking the stats here. I think Lewandowski
Mbappe
this season,
definitely not. We shouldn't put Mbappe.
No.
9
goals.
9 goals.
Definitely, then we have to pick Lewandowski ahead
So
of
Lewandowski, Haller, and Salah behind.
Okay, at least we gave him the consolation, spot in our team, if not the Ballon d'Or. So let's actually I'm putting in Lewandowski and of course Haller, right? So okay, so almost ready, and I think the third midfielder is still up for debate. So I think going by as in now it becomes a second midfielder. So I think with Casemiro, I think I'll possibly go with Goretzka then, because Goretzka kind of can do both the things. And again, I'm seeing some votes in here. Vinicius, fantastic, but I think possibly the latter half of the Champions League is when he's really rose up to the occasion. Compared to the first half. And that's the reason why I personally did not put in Vinicius there, if you ask me. But Lewandowski over CR7, just Viola, I have to go into that. Despite Ronaldo definitely getting that almost world record as well on consecutive goals. But I think we are almost there, and I'm just putting in Goretzka, and the team is ready. Oh, wow, that looks scary. Let me try and share it. Again, if people have different views, do comment. What do you think of this final team that we've selected of the Champions League this season? And we didn't speak about the main thing. Come on, the manager is got to be Tuchel, right? As in, no, we finished second. Nagelsmann?
Erik Ten Hag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I agree with Ten Hag. I think, Ten Hag.
Yeah, I think probably Ajax, what they
or
did.
Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, fair shout.
I think Jurgen Klopp, because he had the more difficult group. He had Milan, Atletico, and Porto. So Jurgen Klopp is the manager.
Dortmund and Sporting Lisbon as well. So I mean, let's go Milan and definitely Harder. So that team is scary. So let's go with Jurgen Klopp. I think
Jurgen Klopp, yes.
Okay, so Klopp is the one who gets it. So come on, I mean, we don't have a natural leader in the team. It's got to be Rudiger. Come on, finally he deserves a armband, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or De Gea.
Okay.
Maybe Lewandowski.
Nice. Oh yeah, I think he is the skipper of Poland, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I think get Zidane back to management. I think I'm just going to add Mike here. Mike, big up.
How are you doing, Ankit? Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. No, absolutely. It's our pleasure. And Mike, meet Taron. I think Taron you obviously met earlier, and meet Drog Baba. And so
hello.
Is basically our team. And of course, like people watching, do subscribe to Michael Talks Football. As in, this guy is immense. Like covers literally everything in football. So I know lots to learn from him. But yes, Michael, this is our final team of the season of the Champions League till now. What do you think? As in, any debates there?
No, not really. I heard Taron saying Kante, and then I was losing my shit here in Finland. Not gonna lie, I couldn't. When I heard Kante, I was like, "What?" But this is a fair team. I would mostly agree with this because Eder Militao, Cancelo, Rudiger, yeah, definitely. You got to at least one Chelsea boy there. Rudiger, Alphonso Davies has definitely been the best left back. Casemiro, definitely. Bernardo, yeah, I think this is a fair team, to be honest. There's a lot of other players you can add, like Brozovic and these sort of players. Maybe even a Sheriff player because they actually won 2 games. But
Yeah.
this is about. I think this is a fair team.
Honestly, I did not even consider any players who've been, eliminated and they're going to the Europa League. I know that's kind of unfair. Nkunku could have been a great shout, to be very honest. Like, he was immense, but a lot of forward players there. But as in people calling about different formation, could have fitted in Benzema in there. And then again, there's a lot of permutation combination. But Michael, obviously being a Liverpool fan, after all, what is your first reaction on the draw? What do you think of the overall draw fiasco? And of course, Liverpool getting the Inter Milan tie.
I think it's going to be a fantastic footballing match, to be honest. I think Inter versus Liverpool is what you dream of when you're thinking of a football fan, basically. Just 2 attacking sides where, Inter can definitely play more of a defensive side if they want to with their 5 in the back formation. But, I mean, when I watched them play in the Serie A or when they played against Real Madrid, they were really trying to press them high and receive the ball in Real Madrid's half or AC Milan's half all the time. So, if Inter Milan are going to want to press against Liverpool and leave themselves exposed to the back with 3-on-3 situations, good luck. I mean, good luck against Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Diego Jota. I mean, Skriniar, he's an okay defender. I think he's good, but he's not great. Bastoni, I think, is a very underrated young Italian center back. So I think this is a great footballing match per se, really. Because I think first it was Liverpool, RB Salzburg, and I was laughing my head off. I was like, this is fantastic. And then I was like, wow, here we go. We're going to have to do a redraw because, UEFA effed up. We knew that was going to happen because it's UEFA. Then we get Inter Milan. I was pretty happy about it because it was going to be maybe PSG. And I was going to be like, no, this is not going to be good. PSG versus Liverpool. But I'm happy with Inter Milan. I think it's going to be a great footballing match. And I expect Liverpool to advance out of that matchup, to be honest. With the way Liverpool are playing at the moment, we should advance.
As in, I agree, but again, a lot of injuries kind of, are an ifs and buts kind of category. But yes, we've discussed the Champions League. Of course, that 11 was great. I agree with that. So now let's move on to the final section. I hope you guys have a few more minutes, and of course, people in the chat do smash that like so that we have more predictions coming in, because yes, we are going with the predictions league, and we will be covering, of course, the Premier League, because a lot of games happening this midweek again. So we will be covering, of course, just a score prediction because I think we've talked otherwise. So let's go in with the first game. I think the first game that is there, I think, if I'm not wrong, on Tuesday night is Brentford against Man United. So quick score prediction, Baba. What's your prediction here?
Where is it? It's in Old Trafford or Brentford Stadium?
It's at Brentford.
1-1. It's a draw.
1-1. Okay, again, people in the comment section, do get in with your predictions. We will definitely have a leaderboard soon on the predictions league, and that's what I've been saying from weeks. Trust me, the league is kind of being set up, so yeah, you will see that. So yes, Brentford, Man United. I actually kind of agree with Baba that is going to be very close than what people think. Quick question there, Taron. I'll put this to you because Man United in recent weeks have looked like, not like a team which would concede a lot of goals compared to previous weeks. So do you think it's definitely Rangnick's tactics or is just the new manager syndrome? What's your call there?
I think the pressing's improved to a small extent in the Palace game. I thought they were pressing very well and they're winning the ball back. There was a time when Billy Gilmour got the ball in the midfield against Norwich, and I saw 5 players surrounding him, which is just getting to its fan, really. But yeah, it's going to take a while to implement these tactics for Man United. The defensive side will improve slowly. The midfield side will improve, and the goals will come very soon. But right now, I still think it's a time for adaptation for Man United. And the Brentford Community Stadium is not really a place where you can hope for an easy game where you can adapt to tactics. It's going to be a lot of long throws, a lot of long goal kicks, a lot of pressure, really, in your own box. And Harry Maguire doesn't tend to do well when there's a lot of pressure on him. So it's going to be interesting what's going to happen in that game. I don't think Ivan Toney's going to be fit. I know he missed the last game. Obviously, David Ray is a massive miss. So it's going to be a weird game, to be honest. And I wouldn't be surprised if Man United scored a deflected goal to us late on to win it 1-0 after a very kind of schedule, like Rashford or Greenwood or someone banging in a late weak for a deflected goal. That's just Man United. So, yeah, it's going to take a while. I don't think Rangnick's anywhere near the manager as Thomas Tuchel overall, in my opinion. There's a reason he teach and he never really was a top-class world-beating manager, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's what I feel about that game.
Yeah, great call there. Again, tactics. Taron knows the tactics, and I would actually, totally rely on him when it comes to tactics. I'll come to you, Michael, for the next one. It's Norwich against Aston Villa. Now, Norwich in recent weeks actually have looked much better. I know maybe I'm biased again about Billy Gilmore, but again, Man United, trust me, like United were almost lucky. So do you see Gerrard's new manager kind of, bounce going away slowly, or you see Norwich kind of definitely losing?
Well, don't worry. I'm biased towards Norwich as well. You know that. Damn, we'll book him, bro.
Of
You know
course,
it.
of course. How
Come
can I
on,
forget?
Bookie. Bookie's the best striker in the world. We all know that. But Steven Gerrard, Aston Villa against Norwich. I mean, this should be actually, and Dean Smith going up against Aston Villa as well. This is a very interesting matchup. But I think this should be a Villa win. Norwich they're not good enough. They really aren't. They should have gotten a point against United over the weekend because United were terrible, absolutely terrible. This should be a 2-1 win for Aston Villa, but you never know. Maybe Dean Smith can get something against his own old side. You never know.
Okay, so what you're calling it a close one? 2-1?
2-1 Villa.
2-1. Okay, so I've just noted that down. And Michael, you will be clipped. Don't worry about that because yes, Timo Pukki being the best striker in the world. I just heard that.
Well, there was a little bit of bias towards that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I hear you there for sure. But yeah, then obviously Michael obviously is from Finland, and I think he's been good, but somehow not just been there. He's
got the same amount of goals as Cristiano Ronaldo. That's all I want to say.
Come on. A lot of Ronaldo fans in chat. I'm sure, they're going to basically, respond. Hopefully not. But yeah, Baba, coming to the next one. This is Man City Leeds. So Leeds, I know that there was almost a fight towards the end, and they have been kind of deprived almost some luck. So come on, at the end of the day, Man City have got some luck. This finally has to be the game, right, where Leeds get some points against Man City.
Not happening. Not happening. A clean win for Man City. A clean 2-0 win for Man City. No funny business because they are quite resolute in their defending. They don't defend like we do. They are quite clear with their plan, and we had our midfielders missing. That's why Leeds were able to make those runs in the channels behind our back line and were able to trouble us again and again. And their defenders rarely, commit any howlers on the pitch like what Alonso did the other day. So it's very difficult, and the kind of high line that Leeds play, Man City will be licking their lips, to be honest. I am looking forward to annihilation, to be honest. It could be a 3-0, 4-0, but I'm being respectful toward Leeds. So that's why I'm saying a clean 2-0 victory, nothing else.
2-0. Okay, interesting. And as I say that, I have Doug joining as well. Doug, welcome to the stream. Big up to Doug. And again, Doug is a Liverpool fan again. I know it's almost Liverpool versus Chelsea happening here on the panel. But Doug, again, we spent almost an hour on that stream today on Doug's channel. Again, great conversation. But what was that? I am still kind of baffled. What just happened?
Honestly, it's been some day. It's been some day. Obviously, big thank you to you for coming on earlier. But what we didn't know at the time, we didn't know when that was going to be a redraw. But yeah, I've never seen anything like it. And obviously, Mike was on the second one, and even he couldn't believe it either. So yeah, obviously, big thank you to you both for coming on, and it's a pleasure to be here as well.
No, it's definitely our pleasure. And again, meet Shashwat, that's Dog Baba, and of course Taron, and Mike, of course, right? So, Doug, we've had a couple of predictions now, and a lot of games happening, and I know that you are definitely an expert when it comes to Premier League football as well. So, I'll give you this one, Doug. Next one, this is I think Brighton against Wolves. Now, I think Chelsea are playing Wolves, and of course Liverpool had that narrow victory recently. And obviously, the funniest moment that happened in that game last weekend with Jimenez getting the red card, so he won't be there. So Brighton Wolves, do you see it being a close game? What do you reckon will happen?
I'm going to be honest with you. it's not got the makings of a classic. I have actually said that this is my first 0-0 of the week. Both sides are struggling to score. I don't think Brian have had a game in about 2 weeks, and Wolves are struggling to score goals. I've just got a feeling this has got 0-0 written all over it for me, so I'm going 0-0.
0-0, come on. And then with all that build-up, Doug finally went for a 0-0. And that's not happening. And then it's December. We are talking about a lot of mistakes by defenders, right? But I kind of hear you because, then that's what Brighton have been. They cannot finish for fun. But I think I know, Taron, you have to go. So, Taron, I'll take a quick prediction before you leave. Again, thanks a lot for all your input. But here we have, I think, Burnley against Watford. Now, West Ham is a team, I tell you what, they are a team.
Nice party present.
No, Alan, for me, Burnley, I don't know what, West Ham beat us and then they held on to...
Burnley versus Watford is Taron's parting gift. Like, you are going, give me a prediction on this.
I was staying here to wait for you guys to ask me about that one, so I'll answer that if you want. I don't really mind.
Definitely.
I can actually get to that.
No, before you get to that, obviously you can give in your thoughts about the Chelsea, obviously Everton
relegation
game,
scrap.
That's what we're waiting for. But I think that relegation scrap is got to be some scrap. And then what do you think, Taron?
Burnley v Watford, do you mean, or different game?
As in, I want to hear your thoughts on Burnley, Watford, and Chelsea, Everton before you go.
Yeah, Burnley, Watford. I think we saw at Stamford Bridge when Burnley do have their full 11 fit, including Pope, Koski, Cornet, all these other players. They are a threat, in my opinion, but their last, I think it was a week before, they lost to Newcastle 1-0, so not great for them. Watford, to be honest, I'm not a fan of Watford under Ranieri. I think defensively they're so bad, in my opinion. Manuel Dennis is more of an individual talent in the attack. Apart from that, Josh King has not been great. The other talents in the attack have not been great. The midfield, apart from maybe Sissoko at times, they've not looked great. And Troost-Ekong is probably one of the worst defenders I've seen in my life. In the Premier League. So I think Burnley should be in line to win this game. Maxwell Cornet's been very good for Burnley. I think he scored 5 or 6 goals so far since adapting from Ligue 1. So I'll go with a Burnley win, definitely in this game. Cornet, I think Wood can get a goal. Tarkowski maybe can get a goal. So I'm going to go with 3-0 win. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Watford under Ranieri. I think it's just a matter of time, maybe a few months before they'll look for another manager again, because that is kind of Watford's cycle. And Burnley, I think, on their day, they can beat most teams in the league if they are fully fit. So, I'll go with that again. The Chelsea game at the weekend, I think, I'm not even sure we're playing, to be honest. I think, are you talking about the Chelsea-Everton game? Or
Everton game, it's Thursday night, right?
Okay, I'm not sure we're playing at the weekend. So, for the Everton game, I'll be going to that game, so hopefully I can cheer us on from the side. We should get the win. Everton under Benitez have not looked good at all, it's fair to say. The Arsenal game was more of a smokescreen over their poor form with a late winner from Damari Gray. So I'm going for a Chelsea win. Obviously, we've not looked great recently. I'll say 2-0 win. Kai Havertz double in that game, similar to the way he played last season against Everton. So I'll go with a 2-0 win that game. And I have to go now. So thank you everyone for joining the channel today. Thanks for me and you, first time Douglas, and nice to be on with you again, Mike. Nice to meet you, Drug Baba, and thanks Ankit for having me on the channel. But hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. Live chat, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed my input today, and have a nice evening.
Cheers to me, Tom. Cheers.
Right. Take care, bro.
Up the Chelsea. So yes, Taron is gone, but he has a couple more games that we'll get through, and I think we see a few comments. Baba is definitely not looking very shy. Come on, he's just tired. I know he's human after all. I think Baba 6 hours of streaming non-stop. What is it?
Yes. I think yes, it is about to be 6 hours now in 15 minutes.
That's actually you have literally become a Baba. And I see a few comments. Yes, Chelsea Everton game, by the way, for everyone watching, we are doing a big live stream again. As always, there's going to be a big preview, a fun preview at that. And we'll have a couple of guests. One Everton fan will be on, and another, I'm hoping another Liverpool fan comes on. And of course, Doug and Mike are, as always, welcome. And we would be, previewing, I think Thursday night games in detail, but we're just going through the predictions right now. So we have Crystal Palace against Southampton. Now, Mike, I'll come to you for this one because I think me and Baba will definitely be very biased, and I know Doug is a Gallagher fan as well. But Mike, now Conor Gallagher, there's no secret. Like, he's probably in the team of the season so far, if you ask me, honestly speaking. Come on, he's there. You have to say yes.
Oh, he's there, but he's not in the start, and he's not in the best 11 this season. He's not.
Okay. Fine.
He's
Anyway,
good. He's good. I'll give you that.
form.
He's good, but he's not in the best 11 this season. Don't be so biased.
Okay, fine. I'll probably try and hear you there. But I would like to see an opposition view here. What do you think? Like in terms of Chelsea, the way we play, we need a double pivot system, right? I think that's what Tuchel has been doing from the last, almost a year now.
Yeah.
But Gallagher, he kind of strives in that 4-3-3 formation much more. Do you see him being actually a great fit at Chelsea? Just your viewpoint.
I think so. I think the future for Chelsea might be Kovacic and Conor Gallagher. Don't you think that? That might be the future for Chelsea. I know because Conte, how much can you rely on Conte nowadays? He does get injured quite a lot. That you can't rely on him anymore. Jorginho, I know you guys praise him a lot. I really don't rate Jorginho. I think he's just a sideways merchant. That's what Jorginho is for me. I know you're going to disagree, but for me, I see him in the Euros. I see him for Chelsea. All he does is just pass sideways. Sometimes when he does deliver a forward pass, it's beautiful to watch, but he just doesn't do it enough for me. So maybe the future is Conor Gallagher and Kovacic at the CDM spot for Chelsea if you continue playing the 3-5-2 formation that you guys play. But for this matchup, I don't really want to talk about this game. Crystal Palace Southampton bores me to death. I'm not even going to watch this game. It's boring. So it's at Selhurst Park, right?
Yeah, it's at Selhurst Park. That's right.
Yeah, Southampton are terrible. They even brought back Willy Caballero. They had to bring it back because they have no goalkeeper. So with Willy in goal, it's a 3-0 win for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, and then obviously, that is going with the form. But I think Southampton, on the other hand, Doug, I'll just take your opinion here. Again, Armando Broja, he's one person who's really been impressive in his loan spell yet. I know that finishing ability is not yet at the top, mark yet, but do you see Armando Broja being a future Chelsea player, just like an opposition?
A future Chelsea player? Unfortunately, no. Because I know what Chelsea like to do with these players. They loan them out and obviously sell them for big bucks. I think looking at this game, I think it'll be more entertaining than Mike thinks. I quite like the way Palace are playing under Vieira. And I worry about Southampton, actually. The way that they capitulated against Arsenal was very, very worrying. So because obviously Crystal Palace winning 3-1 against Everton, I can only see them winning against Southampton. So I think I've not gone quite what Mike's gone for. I've gone for 2-1. I think it will be a very, very close game.
Yeah, I don't mind the goals. So and this one, the big one actually that we've kind of missed till now. Baba, I'll give it to you. And obviously, I would like you to even talk about what do you think about Arsenal, because they have kind of flattered to this season and suddenly they've come up the lines. So I don't know, all of a sudden they beat teams, they steamroll them, and then I don't know what happens to them against bigger team. But West Ham, another team, so they are possibly fighting for the fourth spot. Baba, what do you think? Who's going to finish that fourth spot for you?
See, fourth spot, Manchester United under Ragnick. I think they will, find a way to click together, and it's only a matter of time before they start winning those games. They will grind those results. West Ham will definitely fade away because it was like they had a brilliant start, but they'll eventually fade away. It will be between Conte, Spurs, and Ragnick's United, the fourth spot. Because if you look at the points table right now, there are Spurs have 2 games in hand, and if they win both of their games, they will leapfrog 3 teams ahead of them, and they will come into fourth spot. Arsenal, I don't see them finishing even in the top 6 because the mini resurgence that they had, the 6 games or 8 games run that they had, out of which 3 games they played against the teams which sacked their managers very recently. They played against Aston Villa, sacked their manager. Newcastle, manager sacked. And the third team, Watford, manager sacked.
Yeah.
So it was not a real test. Whenever they have faced a real test, they have capitulated. Liverpool game being an example of that. First half they were okay till Mane scored that goal from the set piece. Then that Nuno Tavares blunder from which Jota scored, and they absolutely crumbled on the field. So it's not a mentality of an elite Premier League team. And that Everton game, what the fuck was that performance against Everton? What was that performance? I mean, rubbish is a very polite word to explain that performance. And Arsenal are such an overcoached team. Their pattern of play is so predictable. Ramsdale will have the ball. He will pass it to Ben White. Ben White will give it to Partey or Xhaka. Xhaka will ping it to either Tomiyasu or Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney will bomb fodder. He will cross the ball inside. And you don't have a target man. And they will keep on doing it again and again. And against Everton, they scored a goal like that. I mean, I don't know what the hell is happening with that club. Eddie Nketiah is out of contract. You're not offering him an extension. He comes on as a substitute. Aubameyang is missing training because he has to get a tattoo and he's watching that F1 race. He's, behind Lewis Hamilton that he should win his 8th championship or 9th.
And he's the captain.
And he's the captain. So this goes on to show the kind of hold that Arteta has and the disciplinary problems that Arsenal have. There are some really exciting players. I really highly rate Emil Smith-Rowe. I think he's a fantastic talent. I rate Bukayo Saka. He's a fantastic talent. But Arsenal have missed a trick. They should have gone for Antonio Conte when he was available, or Thomas Tuchel last December when he was available. And they should have backed a manager with all the money that they have spent this summer, who has some experience in managing an elite football team. Like, I am a Chelsea fan. I don't like to lose against Arsenal. But as a rival, I respect them. I don't like Arsenal because many of my friends are Arsenal fans, right? So I don't like to see them sad. So Arsenal, Premier League needs a strong Arsenal for it to be a premium competition, right? And Arsenal are falling apart like anything. I don't see them qualifying for Europa even.
Wow, big call, I must say. Like, so Arsenal, West Ham, you're assuming, I'm assuming that you're going with West Ham, right?
Yes, definitely. See, because Arsenal, Thomas Partey has become such an inconsistent player, and when Thomas Partey has a bad game, Arsenal are all over the place. Because he's the one who disrupts the play, he's the one who progresses the ball from midfield. If he's having a howler, then who are you going to depend on? Odegaard, I don't know why they bought him. If he's a false 9, if he's a center attacking midfielder, if he's a 8-10 hybrid, I'm not able to understand. I think Liverpool fans might remember Maxi Rodriguez. He used to play everywhere, and they still don't. Maxi Rodriguez, you still can't, know what his actual position was. Like Odegaard, I'm on the fence with Odegaard. So I don't get Arsenal and their board. The Kroenkes, I think you can't say like Kroenkes are not backing the manager. They have put in a lot of money this summer. So 11 signings Arteta has made, including the contract extension. So whole team he has on his disposal. How much time will Arsenal take to build? Like, you have to take a leaf out of Jurgen Klopp's book, right? The work that he's done with Liverpool. I mean, the team that he got. One day I was looking at the team. Like, big up to Liverpool fans for sitting through Ricky Lambert, Mario Balotelli, and Christian Benteke.
That wasn't even the worst. The 2010 to 11 season, that was the worst Liverpool team I've ever seen in my life.
Hell, do not remind me.
Jovanovic, Kyriakos,
Christian Poulsen.
Oh my God! Oh, it was
Paul
terrible.
Konchesky. Raul Meireles. Raul Meireles was a decent player.
Raul Meireles was good, and then he went to Chelsea Snake.
He won the Champions League.
Yeah, I know. It's a Snake.
He's a cult player, definitely.
He's a cult player, definitely.
Let's go for a high-scoring game. Like, I would actually go for 3-2. I agree with you. With West Ham, definitely coming back with a victory over Arsenal, and their midfielders are very strong compared to Arsenal midfield. So I can see basically, actually both teams kind of conceding.
West Ham are winning this game 2-0.
2-0? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, that's a brave call. Quickly, your predictions. I think one quick point I have about, because we spoke about Odegaard, going to the next game. I think it's the next big game this week, that is Leicester against Spurs. Hopefully Spurs, I don't know if everyone is fit. Hopefully that game is going to happen. I don't know. But Maddison, like Mike, for you, Arsenal definitely missed a trick, right? They had to tempt Maddison because Maddison is again getting the form that he was speaking about, no?
Yeah, he's picking up the form a little bit, but how much did they want for Maddison, Leicester? Did they want like 70 million for him or something like that? Yeah, I wouldn't pay that much for Maddison. But then they overpaid for Odegaard with 35 million. The recruitment at Arsenal is like, I don't know what the recruitment is at Arsenal. Me, Doug, Baba, Ankit, we could do a better job as recruiters at Arsenal, seriously.
One question I want to ask all of you. Do you think Aaron Ramsdale is worth 35 million pounds?
At the time, no. But now, yes.
It's Arsenal's recruitment is like picking off like sweets off a shelf. So it's like, I'll get that one. I'll get that one. I'll get that one. I'll get that one. They're so bad in the transfer market. It's unreal.
And then it's about, yeah, I think one point that Baba you mentioned about, say the transfer that they possibly had to back the manager a bit more. But I agree with Doug here because I don't think the money was a real big issue in recent seasons. It's about picking them right. And I know it's also about availability, what attracts Arsenal. I know we can go on and on about Arsenal. We can possibly have 2-3.
Last point is on Twitter. I was going through this thread. Like it was mentioned that Aubameyang used to go pound for pound with Salah for the Golden Boot, and he used to score consistently. What has happened to him since he has signed that contract extension? Something has to do with the manager, right? I mean, how can such a world-class player turn to shit suddenly?
I'm gonna say this now. Aubameyang should be stripped of the captaincy. He has never struck me as a captain. Never struck me as a captain. I've no idea why Arsenal gave him the captaincy. And the fact is, getting a tattoo and then turning up late to training is absolutely ludicrous.
That's an Arsenal thing. Like, again, Arsenal fans in the chat, let's be honest.
Is there any?
Most of you.
I'm just waiting for All or Nothing to come out. The Arsenal's All or Nothing.
Oh yeah, they have Amazon Prime. Oh yes. Wonderful TV. Oh, wonderful TV.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously, in Liverpool fans, in the house again before the Chelsea game that will end, we'll talk about Liverpool, Newcastle. Now,
I want Newcastle to get relegated just for the memes, please.
I know. Imagine, like, we all joked, right? If I'm not wrong, I remember speaking to Baba, and I think we also had discussions about it, Mike and Doug. Like, Newcastle, it was all a joke that, imagine them being relegated. Imagine Eddie Howe being sacked before even the January transfer window. It all actually is coming to basically fruition, whatever we actually, anticipated, just jokingly. But I don't know, I'll put it to you, Mike. What do you think? As in Newcastle, is there any way that they can escape this?
Nope. This Liverpool and Newcastle 5-0. 100%. We're putting the 5 on them. It's a rout. It's an absolute rout. Newcastle cannot defend. They just simply can't defend. Clark, Fernandez, is it Lascelles, I think, as well, the center backs? Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Lascelles is shite.
You can spend 200 million.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He just does.
Yeah, he's terrible. Yeah, so 200 million.
You know what?
They can spend 200 million on go ahead.
No, Baba must be realizing, I'm sure, like Lascelles is someone that I think reportedly again Lampard actually targeted. Yeah, I am really kind of thanking the stars here.
Lascelles and Louis Dunk. Louis
Dunk is still okay, but Lascelles, I don't know, like he's fallen off a cliff literally. Like he had that couple of months where he was picked for England, if I'm not wrong, and then that's it. But I don't know, like, so you're going final, Doug. What's your scoreline?
I'm going one less 4-0. I think we'll absolutely batter them.
It is going to be an absolute demolition, and I would like to see Newcastle relegated. As I told you, I want the memes to be in full effect, and we could see the biggest transfer in the summer, owners changing clubs, the most expensive transfer in the history of football. But Newcastle will definitely do some business in January, and we might see some arrivals. 4 or 5 players might arrive and might steady the ship and save them, because see, Burnley and Norwich are bound to go down, right? Norwich are going down, and Burnley, Sean Dyche, I mean, the kind of job he's done for past 4 or 5 seasons is absolutely incredible. Without any financial backing, without anything, without any resources, he still season after season finds ways to keep Burnley out of that relegation spot. But I think his time is done now, and it's nothing to do with Sean Dyche's management. I mean, he will only operate with whatever he's got at his hands, right? So I think Burnley will go down, Norwich will go down, and the third team will be between Newcastle and Watford. So I think Newcastle, if they don't do any business, will go down.
But realistically, who can they sign in the winter transfer window? That's what I want to know. What players will be attracted to go to a team that is bottom of the Premier League and has nothing going for them whatsoever? They have no tactics, really.
Might get some decent players from Championship. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder just who in the Championship would want to go there. So they're going to get paid a lot, that's for sure. But that's about it, really. You're just bound to go down.
Players from, I think Ligue 1 is somewhere where Newcastle in recent seasons they got a lot of players from. I don't know whether it's a scouting system or whatever. I'm sure, like, come on, they have so much money now. they have done some homework and at least convinced in backdrop at least couple of players. But again, I agree with you.
And
Like,
even Eddie Howe is not a long-term manager. He is just
No.
here to keep them up. And
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Newcastle let him go in the summer and get a new manager.
You know what? This is not a bad shot. As in thinking about it, what is Coutinho doing there? Where whatever he's doing, and then he has nothing to lose. He might as well come.
That was the greatest piece of business ever done. Liverpool selling Coutinho for 150 million. Thank you.
Even
Thank
better
you,
than
Barcelona. Thank you.
Even better than Kepa.
This biggest scam of last 10 years.
No, best transfer ever.
You know what? Like Chelsea Perspective says, like Money Talks. Again, people
Yep.
do subscribe to Chelsea Perspective, one of the top Chelsea channels that I know of, along with Rock Baba, of course, and of course Liverpool channel, Dugout Football channel, Michael Talks Football, definitely, along with of course us. But yes, Money Talks. I actually get that Chelsea Perspective, but brother, I think in my view, it's about like Mike said, which players will go there. That's also a big point. Like it's about
Hatem Ben
what
Arfa
is the-
OP.
Okay, so we have late winner show also in the house. Again, Manchester United talks. We've finished that. Brother Rishabh is a Manchester United fan. Again, a great channel. But yes, we'll finish the stream with the Chelsea talk. I know we'll do a detailed preview. But Baba, I think Chelsea versus Everton. Benitez, I'm sure, he's not going to stand up against Chelsea. And I know that it's a Chelsea thing. But do you see something happening? I think Richarlison was subbed in the previous game. Rondon came on. And their left back is a question mark. Lucas Dini, I think we would possibly be, approaching for him. I don't know.
Yes, please get Luca Dini as soon as possible. I love that defender. His defensive work rate is really awesome, and he would be a good foil till Chilwell gets fit. And Alonso, I don't think we can go long term with Alonso. We would be out of the title race if Alonso continues to play. So we need definitely a specialist in that position, or call Jan Martson back from loan. I mean, these are the only two options, or go all out and get Theo Hernandez from AC Milan, which is not possible. So
That's not going to happen. I think I'll be circumspect getting people from Italy, like very, very honestly speaking. But yeah, I hear you there because right now we just need someone and hoping that Chilwell comes back. But in terms of this game, do you see this is going to be the game?
we are charity FC. I never feel comfortable, especially against.
No, come on, we've got to get Benitez sacked. As in, I thought he will probably be leaning on that.
I want to ask from Liverpool fans, what were your emotions when Benitez joined Everton, as rival fans? I mean, were you
It was weird. It was weird at the time, but I can actually see why he went there. Because he's lived in the Wirral for 16 years. I think he won one last job, and obviously it was Everton, but it's been obviously not very, very good for him, Everton. But I can only see a Chelsea winning this one. I really, really do. I think, as obviously you mentioned, Digne seems to be out of favour with Benitez. I think something's definitely going on there. They're still without Calvert-Lewin. And they're definitely lacking something. Whether it's at the back, whether it's in midfield, they need a striker badly, really, really badly for me. So I fully expect Chelsea to win this, probably 2-0. I don't see Everton scoring.
Actually, I feel nervous when we go to Goodison Park because that is a difficult place to travel to. That Goodison Park and that Bournemouth away is a very tough fixture for Chelsea. I don't know what happens to us when we go to Bournemouth. So I think it's in Stamford Bridge this time around, this fixture.
It's a Stamford Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should be comfortable unless Charity FC arrives and give.
We need the 3 points.
gives a
Going
point.
by the predictions, we
Does
definitely
Liverpool
need 3
and
points.
City a favor?
No, and then again, it's about each point here, and I would like to definitely not give Benitez.
These are the
and
games in
Charity.
which we should experiment with different systems.
You think
If
so?
we don't, yes,
I'm not
this
sure
is a
about because come on,
good
Benitez,
opportunity.
the structure he has. I know Everton haven't had the structure, but you don't you think that Benitez, knowing Chelsea, that as in again, he's not been here recently, but he knows our DNA, right? And he definitely will get the team structured somehow. And I feel that probably tried and tested someone. I don't know. We'll go towards 11 in the preview in terms of who's fit and who's not. But for me, certainly this is much tighter than maybe what you expect.
I see ZH playing this game, creating some nuisance between their lines, because ZH has been performing pretty decently. I won't say he's lit the world on fire, but he has been pretty okay in last 4 or 5 games. I thought he was gone. So I see ZH playing, and those quick passes, those quick link ups, and please give Lukaku some game time, for God's sake. He needs some game time. He needs to get in that goal scoring rhythm if we have to challenge for Champions League or Premier League title in any capacity. So
Yeah.
it would be a good fixture for Lukaku to get all 90 minutes, maybe score a couple of goals, get his mojo back, and then we can, move on and look forward to some positive things.
Yeah, as in two Liverpool fans in the house, I would like to offer them. Mike, Doug, please, would you like to have Saul finally? I know that you guys were.
Ankit, what did I tell you before the season? What did I tell you before the season? He's a terrible signing, and look what's happened. Look what has happened. I said he was not good last season.
Ankit, to be fair, we have not played Saul in his preferred position. So
And you
that's
haven't
why
played him enough either. So that he's had an unfair treatment.
He's
really,
neither
as
a
well.
number 6 nor he's a left wing back. He can play in place of Mason Mount, where he will not get a chance.
Probably
He
in
played
front of the pivot.
Yes, he can play in front of the pivot or behind the strikers or in that front three, where he gets that free roaming role to do his thing. He played couple of games there in the Carabao Cup, and he was absolutely magnificent in those 2 games. I especially remember his performance against Southampton. He was creating a lot of trouble. Okay, it's only Carabao Cup, second string teams play. I know all of that, but good performance has to be called out. And we are being so unfair to Saul by judging him. Like, we cannot judge a fish by its capacity to climb a tree, right? A fish cannot climb a tree. So it's unfair to, judge Saul on his number 6 performances.
But again, as in maybe the FA Cup is when he can prove. As in probably he should get all those FA Cup games is what I would say. But yeah, just hoping for the best. But yeah, a lot of talk. I think we've almost was streamed for 2 hours. And again, thanks a lot. I know Baba, he's kind of created some kind of record, and I'm sure he'll break a lot of records going forward in the coming
I think it's just with the name, Drug Baba. That is the most fantastic YouTube name I've seen.
Thank you so much.
And that's respect, because I know that Baba is always helpful and ready as well. So big up to him, and great quizzer. So Baba, we'll have you back. We are planning definitely our Who Am I Trivia series to come back, and this time it'll be kind of revitalized with Liverpool, Man United, and other kind of personalities also. So we would love to have Doug. I know he loves a quiz, and Mike knows his stuff as well. So again, people do kind of subscribe to Michael Talks Football and the Dugout Football channel. Apart from obviously Almighty Blues FC, Drog Baba of course, and Chelsea Perspective, and a lot of other channels which are there in the chat. But again, I would like to give the platform to firstly Baba. Again, thanks a lot. But anything that you have, final words?
Just had a really good time. 2 hours they flew away. I didn't even notice that it was a couple of hours we were coming down to the stream. And it's always good to talk with the ultras and with the people who are really associated closely with the game, Taron, Douglas, Mike, and it's really nice to talk about and discuss different perspectives. So it gives you a really good side of other things, how they are. So really thankful that you called me on this discussion today.
No, as in definitely hoping to have you on a lot of times again. But yes, certainly brilliant panel. Chelsea Perspective also agrees. And again, I think Mike, I know.
Oh, there went the lights. The lights out.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Lights
Ankit.
out.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
Ankit. No.
Yes,
Oh no, the power.
the power
Is it lights out for Chelsea season? Sorry, Chelsea fans.
No. I hope
it's not yet. Actually, I have one last question for you, Drug Baba, because I'm half American, so I want to know, what does Pulisic need to do? Does he need to go out on loan somewhere, or does he need to just fight for a spot at Chelsea? What's the best decision for him in his career?
I think he needs to stay fit for once.
That's the main issue for him.
His fitness is quite main issue. I'm getting a call from Ankit. Let me answer it.
Okay, answer it.
Hello.
This is.
Hello.
Yes. Sorry, then the power issue has come. So I think we'll kind of end it here.
Cool. Sure. So we'll just sign off, and if you could end it.
Yeah. Then I'm just trying to sign in. Yeah, but if you can just sign off, and maybe I'm hoping that Mike and Doug have also kind of plugged in, right?
Yes. They're still here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if they can just plug in, and I think that's about it. I'll just try and sign in 2 minutes. But yeah, if you can just ask them to plug in, and that's it for the day.
Okay, cool. So we'll just sign off and end the stream.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I think that's about it because Ankit is having trouble signing into the stream. So thank you guys. Thank you all who joined us. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, Doug. And I hope we'll continue this discussion. It was lovely having you on. So let's hope to meet soon again. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yep.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks to the
Take
chat.
care. Good night.
Good night.